There was also a discussion in the debate about when to have regime change and when not to. When should the United States be in support of removing a leader of a country?
I think we have to, first of all, the most important part of that is it has to be in our national security interests, number one. And number two, if we're to do it, there better be a plan to deal with the aftermath. I think that's the lesson learned. When Libya went away, if there was a security threat, I'm not certain. I think that's a borderline call, to be honest with you. But when Gaddafi left, there was no plan to engage to make sure that there was stability. And now we have just total chaos. So I think the bigger issue is, what do you do in the aftermath of regime change? And I think it ought to be done very cautiously. That actually was one of the more thoughtful parts of the debate, to be honest with you.
In Syria, you've talked about a no-fly zone and a safe zone, and you've said also that if there need to be new American forces in there, you'd wait to hear from military advisors. Yeah. Military advisors have said a safe zone requires about 30,000 troops. Are you on for that? Is that a...
Safe zones, probably, more likely, not just one. And I would get options from them, and I think it needs to be, we're going to have special operators for sure. We're going to have to train a Sunni army. The suggestion that there are no Sunni forces in Syria willing to fight is just wrong. There are 30 to 40,000 of them, but they're all disparate, all spread out across the country, not in an organized way. So yeah, we need more. You can't do this just by the air. That's going to require a bigger commitment than that.
I guess the fear is people think, well, if it takes 30,000 to hold those safe zones, because you got to keep them safe, then that's the beginning. And then, as you say, you got to follow on. You got to make sure you don't just leave a country and have it decay. So that's, people can see that growing into a real engagement in Syria.
So if the next president, and I'm working hard to make it me, needs to explain to the American people exactly what the plan is and what the intention is and what the end objective is. We're not going to have an occupying force in Syria. That won't solve the problem. What we need, though, is to make sure that we're doing this in concert with the Arab nations as well as the Sunnis in Syria that desperately want to bring stability. The other part of the safe zone idea that's important is that it's the way to solve the refugee problem. 4 million people stuck, most of them stuck in refugee camps, a million apiece in Lebanon and Turkey and Jordan. This is going to have a massive destabilizing impact in the region. And if we do nothing, we're going to create a breeding ground, multi-generational breeding ground of additional terrorism. So the safe zone idea is not just for military purposes, it's for humanitarian purposes as well.